Why don't we go ahead and get started? A small group today to start us off, but that's okay because more people will be trickling in. So, hello, Simon, buddy. Thank you for joining us today. Which one of you? Both of you will be replacing me.
Oh, is that our first thing on the
Yes,
agenda?
it is!
Oh, no.
We are gonna talk about
We have
next year.
we have 25 minutes allotted to this. No, 15. Sorry. I was
Well, I'm going to be abroad next fall.
You.
Oh.
No, Maddie, I was not.
I'm sorry.
I was
to
relying
say
on
so
you.
late. I'm sorry.
Yeah, where are you going?
I'm going to be in Santiago, Chile.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that's very not stereotypical. Like most people go to like Spain or something. What are you doing in Chile?
I'm going to be taking classes like at the universities there, and
Okay.
I'm doing some sort of like.
Hi, I'm late. How are you?
But I still love to like. I still really want to like be on projects and stuff. But yeah, I'm not going to be here. So.
What happened? You're going somewhere?
She's going
Yes, next
very
fall.
far away.
Yeah.
Did you get into a study abroad?
Yeah, I'm going to Santiago, Chile. So
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
excited, yeah.
That is amazing.
But that does mean I will not be able to do as much for DBA.
Well, I don't. By much, I mean probably like not much at all.
But you'll be
Maybe
back
like
in the
gone.
spring?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I definitely want to help out like when I get back.
Oh,
And
for
I guess if you want me to like
I'm
write
counting on that.
anything up, like I would love to help with anything I can, but yeah, probably not much.
we're just discussing who's gonna be president next year.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I applied to the GSG cabinet
Why?
position for the Director of Disability Advocacy and Policy, the person, what Ariel Friedman is right now. And I just thought it would be good to have a stronger like liaison / like relationship
It'd be
between
very nice.
DDA and
So you
GSG.
applied for that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still waiting to hear back from it. I mean, I submitted the application on Friday, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that leaves me as the only junior that's gonna be here. Out of exec at least.
Jay will be a senior, right?
Jay will be a senior.
Not expressed interest in coming back? or-
Hello.
Hey.
This is Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Hi.
You can sit over here.
No,
Sit with us
please do
in the
that.
room, unless you have us work you wanna do over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've
Makes sense.
heard a lot of good things about them.
Mostly.
Go ahead, I dare you.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Before we continue, you took your GRE!
Yeah.
Thank you so much!
I'm alive.
Yay!
Yeah.
Did you take it in Raleigh?
Actually, Durham, what's it called? NCCU, North Carolina Central.
Oh, okay.
In Durham, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, it's like a mile and a half away.
Wow,
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
It's better
Yeah.
than like the 45-minute drive I made.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yike.
good.
Yeah.
Oh.
You took it last semester?
Yes, I did.
I thought you took it beginning of this semester.
Oh, yeah, sorry, beginning of the semester.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh, gotcha.
I remember you were stressing at the beginning of this
Oh,
semester.
yeah.
I was praying on like
Yeah,
a deep
like,
deep.
classes start on Wednesday. I took my GRE on Saturday. Attempting to start it Saturday night.
Oh my
so
goodness.
That was done.
Wow.
Yeah, are you
Yeah.
happy?
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah.
Also, it was so chill. Like, just like they have a designated room in their education building with computers set up for testing. So like there was like some other people there doing other tests and some people that were like finishing up, but like basically I was the only one. Like there's not like set times, like a group of 10 go in like the SAT. It's like just walk in whenever.
That's
Yes.
nice. That's really nice. actually.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Oh, by the way, Jay's calling in. Hi, Jay.
Hi,
Okay.
Jay.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for asking.
Great. So, yeah, we were just discussing like the executive roles for next year. I thought she was going to be president because I think I'm going to transition away from this role. I applied to be the DSG cabinet for next year for the Director of Disability Advocacy and Policy. I just thought it'd be good to kind of strengthen the relationship between DSG and DDA and be more involved in like the specific projects we're working on because I feel like currently I haven't even been able to dip my toes in anything.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
Maddie's going abroad next fall.
Oh my gosh. We're losing the whole team. Are you gonna stay in DDA?
Yes, of course.
Okay, cool. And Maddie, like, I know I said I could keep working at DDA when I was abroad, and I could definitely not. I shouldn't have made that commitment, but
Yeah, she basically said, she's like, I want to, but I'm not sure how much I'll be able to, and so we're just kind of keeping an understanding.
what kind of abroad program are you doing?
So I had a petition remote program at Butler, and like a bunch of people from the US going to Santiago, Chile, studying in the
Butler.
universities there.
Where's Butler? Where's Butler?
Butler University?
Do you speak Spanish?
Yeah, I've taken it since 6th grade, so
Oh.
I should be like super good, but I'm like,
Yeah, no, but yeah, me too, I studied from
Yeah.
6th grade through your age, and that never made me fluent, like it's I
I
can
can-
read and I can write slowly, but I can't, like,
Well, you'll be at least
yeah,
partially
so like
fluent.
that's why I wanna go, I wanna like.
it's
look
gonna
at-
help a lot,
Yeah.
you're gonna be golden when you finish.
God, I wish I had time to study abroad. I would go so many places. Well, I mean, like, not. I guess I would. I really want to choose. I really want to go to a lot of places.
Yeah.
Around the world in one
Good.
semester.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, honestly, that's
There are
the
some.
program I did is IHP. We went to New York City,
Right. You
Barcelona,
went to everywhere.
Buenos Aires, and Cape
Except
Town.
for I can't speak Spanish at all, so I can know hablo español. That's all.
Go to grad school in another country. Argentina, free public education.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
That's actually
that's
so
cool.
sweet.
Yeah.
Also, Argentinian culture is just.
What are you majoring in, Simon?
Biochemistry.
Okay.
So maybe it was.
Maybe
Interesting, okay, no, I'm
Argentina
just curious, yeah.
Yeah,
No reason why you can't take that anywhere, I'm just curious.
that's fair.
Um,
Man, existential like crisis happening right now, but it's okay.
Incredible.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
We've kind of gotten off track.
it's okay. This is the track, it's life.
Yes. Okay,
So you still wanna play a significant role in DDA next year?
I am, yeah, for
Great.
sure. I will be here all of next year. Like as of now, I will be here all of next year.
Okay.
I'm willing to step up into role as president.
Wow, you sound so coerced right now.
No,
No.
I'm not. I don't.
Take your time to think about it, I feel
Well-
like what we need to do is like make sure that we open this position to whoever might also be interested, and like tell people to express their interest, and cause there's people from exec who are not here right now,
Yeah.
and there's people, interested in DDA on listserv who don't really come to a lot of things because they don't have a role,
Right.
so yeah, I think it's a good idea to sort of just put it out there in the email and then figure this out next week or.
So
Okay.
so one thing is, sorry, according to the Constitution, I think that I think we did set a requirement that people do have to attend some number of GBMs throughout the year. So that
Yes.
would exclude people who have never shown up to a meeting.
Yes.
I think for good reason. The other thing is
Yeah.
that typically when we do hold elections, we obviously do open it up to those who are eligible, but I think usually what happens is that people don't end up volunteering except for like the lower level positions. Like I'd be very surprised if somebody actually stepped up and said that they wanted to run for president. But yeah, just saying.
Jay, are you interested?
No. I can say that unequivocally.
Well, let me rephrase. I guess I would be happy. I'd be very happy to, like, at least for the next semester, be president. And I don't know, Maddie, when she comes back, we could be co-president, or she could take over as president, and I could step down to some other position. So
Right, and
Just-
it's sort of, DT can say more, but we have been transitioning into more of a team-based leadership structure.
exactly. So I was about to
so
say
sharing this work.
her role
But also it's important to have like a clear person who's like, kind of keeping people on top of
like
it.
you managing all the task forces is like very important, and so I think that with our this task force system that we've
Yeah.
developed,
I think
it seems almost like it was like a whim one meeting, and it worked out very well.
Yeah.
So I'm very pleased with that. But I want to make sure it keeps going strong too.
Yeah. And
But
we've built a lot of power, we've built a lot of momentum, we've cultivated a lot of connections with other groups. Some of our meetings we've had a lot of people in them. Other meetings are like more like this, where it's more intimate, and that's fine too, because this is Duke and everybody's extremely busy, and we can't expect like a turnout of like 20 every weekend.
Mhm.
But I think that we're going very strong, and I do worry about like losing that momentum if we don't have like people in leadership positions. But I also want to maintain that team building kind of focus that we've developed. So.
And there's
As much
just, I guess, like, I'm pushing for me not being president so much, not necessarily anyone like in particular stepping up, is because it is really important, I think, for the underclassmen to kind of take over in leadership positions. Personally, I want to be more involved, like, with the projects going on, but I feel like it's also important to kind of address this now or sooner rather than later, just so we have like a transition period before the semester ends. Because even when the new year starts, there's a lot of things to kick off with, whether it's week or recruitment or tabling, and it's really important to kind of just be on the same page before we go out for the semester. And if we could like decide within the next week or so, we don't have to worry about it during the reading period or exams and stuff, because we also have to register the new exec board, or like at least the president and the treasurer under Duke groups every year in August, so we can continue to be recognized as a chartered group.
That's also important. We need to have someone learning to replace Trent, because Trent is going to be a senior.
Does that mean he can't be?
Well, he can be, but
Next year he can, but after.
he can't.
He can next year, but afterwards.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
Okay, so has anyone
we should
spoken
make
to
sure.
Trent recently? I mean, I have never heard him express a desire to leave his role, but
It's not, I
Yeah.
think Trent is perfectly fine with
Staying
being
as
like
treasurer.
staying as treasurer next year. It's like the question is what happens after
After
Trent goes.
yeah.
So
So
leaving.
we need to be training a new treasurer next spring.
Starting now, hopefully we can find someone who can,
Right.
Start dedicating some time, and then eventually transition into a full commitment to treasurer. So I don't know. I was just thinking ahead, because it's like one of the most important for at least in terms of policy and recognition and stuff.
Yeah.
The treasurer.
Mostly filling out forms and knowing who to turn it
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
And just knowing when things are due, but it's
a relatively easy and light workload role, but it is very important.
but it's a very important one.
Yeah.
Ideally, I think what would happen is that if we could like decide or like hold elections within next week, ideally what I was thinking that whoever the next president or new president is could take over and lead the meeting next week, just to kind of get their feet wet and end the year on a fresh note.
That's a great idea.
So we want to decide before this weekend's. Have elections during this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think last time we sent out a
Google
form, yeah. We did it online. I can just repeat that. So first an email asking who would like to do it, and then an email asking to vote.
Yeah, I think last time it was if you're running for an exec position, you send a blurb and your name and a blurb. I guess your net ID.
So should we make a priority of sending that email like tonight or tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like right after this meeting, just so that it's like out there in the world and we have a couple of days to collect responses before
I can
we
start the document out
decide
actually, so
how to proceed, and that gives the
do
person
you
a
wanna
couple
write
of
it?
days to prep for the next meeting. Not that it takes a whole couple days, but just to have the mindset.
So are we just asking about president right now, or are we also thinking about asking about all the other positions in the Constitution?
I think right now what happened last year is that we really finalized president, treasurer, like at the end of spring semester last year. And then other exec roles kind of were filled in after we had like new people join.
right. I remember that as well.
Because I think with president, we want someone who has experience with DEA, whereas the other roles can be filled in by like relatively new people without as much institutional knowledge, and it can help them.
Yeah, I actually have the Constitution up here. I don't know if anyone's taken a look at that recently.
No, it really should though.
Okay.
I think we had a
So-
pretty detailed
Right.
thing there.
Yeah, so I guess so it depends how you define official membership. I think that's the number of people who have attended 2 general body meetings.
Right, because there's membership on Duke groups which nobody bothers to
Right.
register for.
Oh yeah, so
Are
yeah,
aware of
our official membership according to this definition would definitely fall under 20, which
Yeah.
technically allows the exec board to make their own rules about the process. It does say that elections should be publicized for a week before the actual ballot is sent out. But I guess if you guys don't want to do that, then that's fine. I mean, definitely given how much time we have, it would make a lot of sense to do a little bit of a shorter timetable.
I mean, I'm sure 6 days would.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm a little hesitant, like, yes, ideally a democratic process is ideal, but it's like who constitutionally is eligible to run for president?
Illegible?
Like, illegible, like, who has attended the necessary.
Oh, eligible, sorry.
Yeah, yes, eligible.
Sorry, I was thinking not eligible, so like who is not eligible?
And like,
Word for it.
Yeah.
yeah, and I feel like by that definition, the only people who would really qualify are like Simon, Maddie, Kevin, Trent, and we could like send out like if you want to run for president, send the blurb in and we'll hold elections and stuff. But it would really be down to like.
I think all the newer members are also eligible now.
Well, the newer executive.
So we have
Yeah,
a
that's-
lot of freshmen. And Logan
Yeah, Logan and Simran.
and Simran. Simran's a freshman, right?
Yeah.
Is Logan a freshman too?
Mhm.
I did not know that. Wow. Okay.
Right.
So we have Logan, Simran. We got Fern,
Mhm.
Benicia,
Right.
and there was Matt has not shown up for a while because he's been really busy, but he's been attending. He's attended more than 2 at least.
Right.
And so we
And
have.
Kayla attended a few in the fall but hasn't been active in the spring.
And have all those people accepted their Duke Group's
Yeah.
invitations or not?
Plus or minus 2.
I'm not sure, but I'll have to check on that. But I guess again, I'm still like hesitant about even allowing them to run because again, they're freshmen and I feel like that's a lot to put on, a sophomore.
Do we?
Jay did it.
Oh yeah.
Jay
did do it.
singularly
Jay was
revamped the
Fully
entire
running
club.
his club as a freshman.
Brought
Oh
me
my
into a
God.
room and we wrote a constitution.
Yep. And then we brought in Trent,
Recruited 4 or 5.
Kathy, and Youssef, and all those people we met in the dorm. Jay's dorm. Yeah.
Really?
Jay's room.
That's actually so
That
funny.
was so
Oh my
great
gosh.
Jay pioneered
Before
it.
that day, it was basically me and Jay running around campus, like asking what the rules were for things because we didn't know anything. We were like, how do we place an equipment order? How do we reserve a room? How do we do anything? Yeah.
So, sophomores are more than capable.
I think yes. I think freshmen, rising sophomores are capable of the work if they're interested in it. I think desire to do it is the number one.
I think it's also important to ask, like, what else do these people have going on? Like,
Definitely.
like,
That's
Yeah.
fair.
are they gonna be president and also president
President
of
of
3 other
something else.
things?
Yeah, that's
Or-
not okay.
Yeah.
We can't have that, I suppose.
So what I'll do is I'll make a form, send it out tonight and who are like respond by
Tuesday night.
Wednesday, yeah.
Tuesday night's fair, 2 days.
Yeah, and then send out the ballot on Wednesday. And so
We'll close it maybe on Friday.
Friday midnight.
Whoever's elected has time Saturday and Sunday to prep for the meeting.
Quickie elections.
yes.
Yeah, man.
Honestly, do we want to send out the form like now?
The application form. Oh wait, just type it up in the meeting.
We could, it's just I also wanna get to like the other talking points about like cultural center, tactile maps, the conference, etc.
Yeah.
The conference
So
is
let's
a big
do it.
one.
Let's do the form right after the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next thing on the agenda was the bonding dinner.
Ooh.
So far both dates work for everyone who filled out
Those
the
are both
poll.
this week, right?
Yes.
I did not fill out the poll. I'm so sorry.
I noticed
Which are they?
something
Wednesday.
Because it was
It said
Wednesday
Wednesday,
and Friday, but in the email you said Thursday, so I was a little
Ah,
confused, but I just,
Yeah,
whatever.
I just filled out for Thursday/Friday.
Oh,
Exactly, and
sorry.
it's fine, it works for me
So-
either of those days.
So now the options, the real options are
Oh,
Wednesday
right,
and
on
Friday,
the
right?
email I said, yeah.
Yeah, but it's, I think we all figured it out.
And where would we go?
I feel like on campus it's easiest, but if we want to do like off campus, that's possible. We could do dinner at the Commons.
Oh, we've done that, yeah. So, okay.
That's fun.
Can we get in a Wadu?
Yeah,
How do we get into Wadu?
yes, and I feel like your food points work there, don't
They
they?
do.
Yeah, they do.
And for
just-
seniors?
Technically, but
You
just went to the Wadu today and had a bittersweet experience because you have to have your physical card on
yeah.
you so they can swipe it. I gave my card to someone last night so they could buy food, forgot to take it back from them. So I gave them my card number, like wrote it down, that didn't work. I said I have my card on my phone, will that work? They don't have the tap reader, so I need that time to pay for
So,
lunch with
so
credit
note
card.
to self, if we go there,
Yeah, bring your card.
Yeah.
That sucks though, sorry to hear this.
doesn't have to be that.
Yeah.
I just wanna do whatever's convenient for everyone. It's like Jay, like what is the best, like most convenient location for you?
Location
To grab dinner.
anywhere in West Union would work. I've been to the Commons before. I don't know about the Wadi. I would assume the Wadi would be accessible, so that should be
Yes.
fine.
It is.
Yeah, I've never been there before, so usually what I would do is I would go and check it out ahead of time.
Yeah.
Um,
To actually
Yeah.
get there, I don't think the shuttle goes there, right?
There's the C3
There's
that
the-
goes, but it drops you off
It's
very
far
far away.
Yeah,
So
it's-
I'd probably have somebody driving me.
Yeah.
I also have a car.
So, yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, if there's,
it's one thing.
I guess we can plan for either. But if there's some problem with the Waduk, I'll let you know as soon as possible.
So just to keep things like, easier, like should we do Friday?
Oh, I don't know if I can do Friday.
Okay, so Wednesday?
Oh my god, wait, can I do even what? Can I
Did you do the poll?
I did not do the polls, but things
poll.
come up. Things came up this week.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay, so
I'm
it's
just
either
gonna-
a Wednesday at 8 or a Friday at 7.
I would rather do the Wednesday. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I can definitely do the Wednesday. I'm so sorry. I just like
Yeah.
had a moment.
Jay,
I
would
need to
that be
keep a calendar.
enough
It's like-
time to figure out like, accessibility stuff with the water? I should tell you, like, at least for brunch where they have it is, what's it called? The area is carpeted. Would that be an issue?
That should be fine. I can look into it, and I can probably let you know within.
As I
24
recall,
hours
there's no
from-
steps going in. It's sort of like a fancy hotel.
It's a one floor.
There's one of those areas where the valet cars can drive through, and
Mhm.
that's all flat.
Yeah.
And there's 2
Yeah.
automatic doors. And then
Yeah.
it's a big lobby, and then behind that there's a bar, and then tables and stuff.
That's the bar. Is
I
the
can't
Okay,
think of any like one-step situations, those
Is it the
things that
Fairview
restaurants
dining room?
sometimes do.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it
But
is.
I'm pretty sure it's all flat, at least to that restaurant.
Okay, Wednesday.
I mean, if you're gonna go on the porch, then it's different, but
Wednesday.
Okay. I'll look into it. I should be able to let you know within 24 hours from now. Soon we.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright,
And
so
should we?
we're just putting it in the calendar for now, Wednesday at 8 o'clock, dinner at the Wadi.
should we make a res?
Yeah. Okay.
And this is open to all general body people, right? So we can.
I'll make like a reservation for it.
And are we using club funds, or is it just everyone pays for themselves, or?
I'm sure it's gonna be.
Does everyone have enough food points? I'm
I can
working.
manage.
I have plenty and I can definitely cover like
Yeah,
anybody
same
who
here.
needs it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I should have a bunch too, so I should be fine.
Well. I don't have a lot of points, but I don't want to take
I think
it.
it's
So.
extra.
I have so many, like please use my
Yeah,
food
same
points.
here.
I can't tell if
what
it's
you
saying
say.
it. Like
No, I
actually.
have way too many.
Oh my god, how do people do this? It doesn't make any sense to me. I run out of points every semester.
What
Just-
plan did you get?
I got B.
Okay, that makes sense actually.
Yeah.
I got A,
Oh.
and I also eat like
It's way
2 or 3 meals
Maddie
a
was
day.
telling me it's like there's plan A where you eat like 1 meal a day,
Okay,
or
that's-
it's B where it's like 10 meals a day.
Yeah, there's
So
no.
I have plan E and I'm almost out. And that's
That's the central plan, isn't it?
like
Or
that's
no?
the biggest one.
What?
I think it's like $34 a day. It's a lot.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, we will pool our resources.
Yeah,
and take
it'll be fine. I
Yeah.
have 3 points. It's not like I don't have any.
Yeah.
And I can cover anyone who doesn't.
Do you have 3 points as a faculty?
No.
Oh.
Just
Oh,
cover.
no, then we'll cover
Well, then we'll cover you. Yeah, that's the
My
point.
job.
We'll cover you with 3
Yeah.
No, that's okay. Put it on your flush.
Oh, right. Trentus and Texas.
Honestly, I would.
Forgot.
They don't let us do flunch there, but
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so should we talk about this Utah group?
Oh, yeah, so we got an email from,
From someone at Utah who was super impressed with our work,
yeah,
which is always a nice feeling.
yeah. Her name is Kendra, and she's contacting us on behalf of the Equal Access and Disability Rights Commission, the student group based in Utah, dedicated to providing students and universities with recommendations on how to better advocate for disability rights. And right now they're doing a lot of research and analysis for two universities, BYU and U of Utah. And they just are collecting statements, comparing other university policies, et cetera, and creating this report. So she said, I would love to discuss our research, and if we could help each other out, it'd be wonderful to hear more about what you are doing, so we could try to implement it here at BYU and in other universities. So I definitely think we should respond to her. I was just wanting to discuss with you all, like, what should we tell her, like, about DEA, about our efforts with the cultural center.
We
Right.
actually,
First thing is to definitely plug her into
We
the
actually
Dream
bring-
network, because it sounds like she doesn't know about it, but
Mhm.
that's a huge like national resource of other student groups, student activists, disability justice groups, so that would plug her in, and like there's a listserv for that she could get onto with
Yeah.
Wendy, I think it's Wendy Harbor. Let me look it up.
Yeah, is I have
You're on it? Yeah. Actually, yeah, Wendy Harbor does multiple listservs, but that's one of them. It's Dream at a Head listserv.org. And that's like weekly news. So it's like all the stuff not only that's going on with student groups that are groups like ours, but also just like with college students with disabilities in general. And opportunities for college students with disabilities, all kinds of stuff.
How do we feel about telling her about our cultural center efforts?
We should. I feel like we should, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as for what to say about it, we should say like we started to get some data. We got some data on it from
Yeah,
our
this-
student body here.
I have no problem with
Some
sharing
report.
resources,
Yeah.
like any research that we've done. I mean,
The
if we're
reports
disability
that
studies,
Maddie
we're all
and
about the
Kendra
open
share.
access.
Maddie, would you be okay if we shared the report?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
And also with Dream, tell them about the Dream Mentor Mondays, because there's like those virtual panels like almost weekly about it's all, yeah, you'll find out about all of that through that Dream website.
Right.
And we can tell them about our symposium too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Conference.
Conference.
Maddie, do you think you'd be able to reply to this email then? Alright, that's taken care of it. And then what's next? Yes, cultural center. So I think Simon, Maddie, Kevin, and I, we all signed up for different sections of the report on like other universities with different cultural centers.
I did forget about that.
So
That is all great.
or in J2, so just to set a timeline on that, when do we want to have that done by? Just trying to find it right now.
I feel like I could do like mine in a week, but depending on other people's
I can-
schedules.
I can do mine like within the week for sure, like maybe the beginning of the week.
I think it'd be good to define exactly what we're trying to look for in research.
Where is
Yeah.
our report? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Just like
So what exactly? Yeah, maybe we could look at her email and see what exactly she was looking.
I think it was, yeah.
I think it's
It was pretty general. Basically, like she mentioned the number of students served. She mentioned like anything we liked or disliked about the center, and that was pretty much it as far as I remember.
I think she wanted a sort of a comparison to what we were proposing for Duke.
Oh yeah, what did you like? What did you not like? How many students did they serve? Yeah,
I think that how many students did they serve is gonna be the hardest part to find out. Like,
Yeah, we might have to email them
Thing where
directly.
we email or call them, yeah.
yeah, exactly. We have to
In which
reach out.
case, it might be a week, but it might be like 2 weeks even.
Yeah.
So just to and also it's end of semester, a lot of deadlines, like it's crunch time for a lot of people. So
The one thing we have to kind of keep an eye on is that there's a tried and true tactic when administration doesn't want to do something, which is to keep asking y'all to do a little bit more work and then a little bit more work until the school year's over. The seniors have graduated, and then they could potentially keep kicking the can down the road all next year until like Jay and Kevin have graduated, and then they feel like, they're because with students you're always rolling over and leaving, and the students who have the most passion for something, sometimes they graduate and then the project gets dropped, and that's an easy way for admin to
not do something.
worm its way out of following through
It's so
on
disgusting.
discussions.
wow.
I'm just saying to keep an eye out for it, because they've already asked you to go back and get more information a couple of times, which fair enough, we do have to have
I mean, the info
Our
they've asked for
ideas,
is
very-
reasonable, but
very clear,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. It's just sort of, and we can only do it as quickly as we can do it, right? We're all doing this volunteer labor, it's not part of your classes, which has to be your top priority while you're in school. So, it's understandable these things will take time. I'm just gonna say, I hope we don't drop, I hope we don't lose interest in it over the summer or next year when some of our members are gone, so.
Well, if we're not here over the summer, are we still able to communicate with admin?
I don't know,
I will be here over the summer for the first half.
I'll
And
be
I'm
here
leaving
for
at the end
Friday.
of July, so yeah.
and we can always think about our own methods of communication over summer, amongst ourselves, if we wanna try having a Skype meeting, or if we wanna just reignite the group meet that we used to have, or whatever.
I like the Facebook Messenger for better.
Yeah, well, whatever you felt like worked, we
yeah.
don't have to completely disappear over the summer, although things do slow down, and that's fine.
Yeah, I think one other question is does it look like we're actually going to be able to meet with Kyle Kavanaugh at all, or is that kind of an impossibility at this point, given that we're not going to get this done for at least a week?
We'd have to request a meeting now for not this upcoming week, for next week. Usually you need a week in advance to meet with him. So we'd have to propose something now, get back to them with the report soon, talk to them about it.
When do people actually leave campus? I know the last day of school is the 24th.
No, I mean the 25th.
Oh, okay. So people leave right
But
after.
I'm back
Oh, so you're gonna
May
miss the conference.
6th until,
Oh, it stinks.
I'm gone by the 3rd.
Okay.
Okay. So it's around the time that finals finish, everybody's probably gone.
Yeah,
Unless
and
you're
that week is kind of not really a great. I know
Yeah,
it's
finals
not
are-
really a great time for doing anything. Just trying to get a sense.
Yeah, I think if we don't want to meet with him, that's fine. But if we do want to meet with him, that obviously gives us a super hard and fast deadline to get the report done. So I think it's probably good to decide whether or not we want to do that or
Can
not.
we meet with him next week? Is that
But we tried to, or the last week of class, is that next week?
well, not this upcoming week, the following.
Yeah.
it's a half week, isn't it? It's Monday, Wednesday,
Yeah.
or Monday through
Monday, Tuesday,
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We still still here.
Yeah, we can reach out to the secretary and ask about meeting one of those days. But that would be
Or
pretty
because
hard.
I think the way that Lee Fickling said to do it was just to reach out to her.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's part of the thing I worry about is if we get the report done, it's one thing to just have it done, it's another thing to then get it to her, she reads it, processes it, sees if there's more information they need.
So if you better just
well,
ask for a meeting before you're like sending it to the board, and then like have one already set up, or
Yeah.
because I mean, I think one thing we could do if we really wanted to meet with him before the end of the semester, which I think would be fine not to do, is we could just request a meeting, and then if they don't like what we have in the report, if they need more, then we can just at least meet with them and talk about what we have right now and what the next steps are. I think the important thing is to be in the same room as these people.
I think also we could just CC Lee on an email to Kyle's secretary, whoever that person is. I'm sure someone handles his calendar. And then just say like, we're sending this report to Lee on Friday. We'd love to talk about this.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah, so like how do we wanna strategize around that, like what's the sense of timeline? Cause I mean, the advantage of meeting with him before summer starts is that, I don't know, then potentially they could be thinking about it over the summer and it gives Lee that time to sort of think about it, and Kyle, I guess, the time to sort of think about it. I don't know what exact work is going into the document right now, but the big part of the conversation that DT and I sat in on in the Mentor Monday, right, which was a week ago, 2 weeks ago now almost.
Cultural center.
So I don't know if DT already filled everyone in because I missed the meeting last week. But yeah, we sat in on a call and the big question was like, do you put it with the resource center or separately? And at a school like Duke, we all feel it, well, I think we all think it's best to put it with other cultural centers. So and have it centrally located because the resource center is like what, back on Alexander Drive, like behind. Right, the SDAO actual location is really out of the way. So, and so are we actually gonna ask for them to actually move? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how anyone feels about that, but the people in Chicago felt strongly that in their situation, they wanted disability resources and culture to be together because access is culture. That was the line that they kept using, and I see the benefits to that, and I think it could be great to join forces rather than have the perception of being an antagonistic, and obviously we don't want something that's just an extension of the bureaucracy, but it could be good just in terms of like financially making this work. If like the staff people that we're hiring for the cultural center are in like pretty good communication and relationships with SDAO and,
Does Lee know that, or I mean, no, but is she kind of on board if we were to create a disability cultural center, that SDAO, or the possibility that SDAO would move?
I don't think anyone's talked to her about it.
So I did raise this issue with her. I think maybe about a year or two ago, maybe about a year ago. And I think the main concern, the main reason why it's there on Central is to protect people's privacy. And I don't think anyone has proposed a solution to protecting privacy that would also allow SDO to move to a more central, more accessible location. So I think that's the main issue with them moving. I think, I mean, I definitely think we should continue having this conversation, but I think we can first see maybe if we get a meeting, because if we don't get a meeting, that gives us more time to think about this really complicated issue of what exactly we should ask.
Yeah. So with those questions in mind, does anyone have a sense of the kind of timeline that feels like it makes sense to the people working on the report and being on that committee?
Why don't we ask Lee? Like, why don't we ask Lee, like, could you potentially reach out to Kyle about a meeting in the last week of school? And we'll get you the report by the end of this week. Like, I feel like it's okay to loop her in.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a lot of value in having a meeting before the summer because then it's something that they can potentially prioritize. With students gone, a lot of times, a lot of administrative meetings happen, or like administrative decisions happen over the summer.
Mhm.
So it'd be good for that to be mulling around with them.
Okay.
And then potentially a follow-up meeting in like the first week or two.
Right, and you can have the kind of proposal, like with UIC, they sort of had a 3-year plan that they originally proposed, and it sort of ended up becoming a 1-year plan, and then they had to sort of reapply the next year. So, we can have a sort of, the plan that we propose doesn't have to be like the permanent one, we can say for the first year, this is what we want.
Right.
And if it's successful, for the next year after that, we would like this.
Right.
Right, so you can say for now, we want a space and a library and some events. And like a part-time staff person, and the next year, we want a full-time staff person, you know what I mean, like you can have gradations in the plan. If we can't make decisions right now about what we want this to ultimately be, you can kind of start with the most achievable and minor kind of asks that you can then build on.
Yeah. I think also Larry Mineta is being replaced, and his replacement was just announced, like earlier this week. So we can make this a like policy priority for this person and meet with them in like the first week or two potentially.
That's a great strategy. Mary Pat McMahon.
We're doing this with the sexual violence case
So research,
also. Tufts,
if there's research, if there's disability studies and or disability group at Tufts. Or other ones in Boston, because that way you can appeal to her based on prior experience or, even though she probably wasn't involved in whatever.
I mean, she was a student affairs leader there.
Yeah,
So in that sense, a meeting with Kavanaugh now is not necessarily the most valuable. Like maybe what we do is get another meeting with Lee this semester and then meet with McMahon early next semester.
McMahon?
McMahon. McMahon.
Okay.
Either way, do they wanna have the report done by like Thursday night?
Thursday night.
We
Okay.
do Friday.
Friday?
At least can I turn in my car?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Friday, definitely.
I mean, I'm also like, they're not gonna read it Saturday and Sunday, so I'm happy to also do Monday.
As long as we get the information on the paper before.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to rush this, definitely.
yeah, you want it to be ready, you wanna go in, you don't wanna go in looking like you don't have a plan or like you haven't all talked about it in advance. So,
Maybe it is wise.
being prepared is more important than timing, but timing right now is kind of important because, because the summer is a time for administrators to kind of mull over plans and transitions, and we are in a critical transition moment.
Yeah. Well, so maybe we try to have the report done by the next meeting and we can talk about it all and be on the same page.
Yeah.
And then send.
That sounds good.
Alright, so tactile maps, Jay, do you have anything to report?
Not really. So I think so we actually didn't get the prototypes back yet. They're
Yes.
still working on that. So we don't have that, so we can't really do too much. I think the main thing is working on our poster for the expo for the conference.
Are you guys still doing that? Who's actually working on the
I thought we were.
Cause my
I think-
student Sid had been working on it, and he told me in class on Wednesday that he was gonna do something totally different now because he didn't have any data to put onto a poster because of well, the way he described it was that he had created a computer model that he thought would kind of automatically show accessibility features of the building, but like whatever happened with blueprints or whatever info he was going off of, like it was picking up all of the piping and plumbing in such a way that was making the entire building
Right.
look a lot more inaccessible than it actually was. So he said that the model wouldn't be able to work automatically. And
Let me just go back through our message chain real quick and just see what he said.
Yeah. because I don't know if you had other
we-
people working on a poster. It would be awesome if we had one. But yeah, according
Yeah.
to Sid, he's doing something else now for my class. So
Well,
I
because I
don't
think
know.
we still have a, because basically our slot only through Sid. So if he's doing another project, then we've lost our slot. Or how does that?
Don't worry about that. There's gonna be room for extra people, even if yeah, I haven't even. Let me look at that.
Okay.
Because I put in an equipment order for more equipment than we actually needed according to that form, because I knew that people were gonna be late filling it out.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we definitely did discuss like buying a poster and everything. So even if Sid is not working on it, I think Manish might. The problem was we didn't actually meet yesterday, so
Okay.
like I didn't get to talk in too much detail about all of that. But it does look like we're hoping to have some poster for that expo.
Yeah,
I
and
suppose I can update you. I can update you on that.
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll let you. I'll let you know if like for some reason we don't end up having a poster and something changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't worry about the
Um.
slot. There's gonna be room for you at the expo either way.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thanks. Yeah. But I think that's about it. The other thing is just if anyone again is wants to help out with the CAD and the Fusion, working in Fusion, that's gonna be helpful still.
Jay, was Manish or is anyone able to reach out to Enable?
I sent them an email last Tuesday night, and I don't think anyone responded.
Yeah, I'll bump my friend Barbara.
Yeah, let me check when I sent that. Yeah, it's the I mean, yeah, as far as the technical stuff, it's the same as you sent out in the last email, the last recap email. You might just want to specify that it would be working in Fusion.
Okay.
I don't know if that would help attract people. Yeah, I sent it at 11:40 on Tuesday, 11:40 p.m. on Tuesday.
Oh, bump on the conference. We sent out the volunteering form.
Still need volunteers.
Oh, do we have a good number, or how's that looking?
I have not filled it out yet,
Okay,
personally,
Nor have I.
because I wanted other people to fill it out first.
okay. What is it called? Is it in the folder?
Yes, it is under event planning.
Oh, it's not under the regular conference folder?
Is in the conference folder and event planning.
It's not. It's just floating in DDA. Hang on.
Volunteering
It's
shifts?
its own folder. So event planning.
Oh, disability conference planning, I see.
Oh, I forgot about the Friday section.
Okay. Okay, so you've got volunteering shifts.
I think that definitely help with setup and cleanup.
Okay, so you've got one for Thursday and one for Friday. So far, we've only got Maddie and Simon.
I haven't finished filling it out yet either. I just like put in my name.
Sometimes they're totally empty. I mean, someone that there's faculty members who might also be interested in being volunteers. So it's gonna be super easy. The way that they did it at SDS, which Maddie and I were at last weekend, was that they just had a bunch of participants, like regular conference goers, wearing volunteer buttons, and people could find them. It just said, like, ask me, I'm a volunteer, something like that on a button. So I am going to the Ruby for a final pre-conference walkthrough on Thursday. Anyone is welcome to join me at that. It's at 1:00 on Thursday. And
At class at 1:25.
okay, well, if someone could come, it would be cool because that way you could ask whatever questions you had and then you'd be able to communicate with the student volunteers about what to expect and like, you know, where things are and all that.
This Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday at 1. It's probably gonna be a short meeting just in the Ruby itself. And I can share this volunteering shifts thing with faculty members too and have students and faculty as volunteers because we might not get enough with just students if we're looking at such low numbers right now.
Is there any way we could increase?
Like, have we sent this out, do we just send it out to our listserv, is that
Yeah,
how it's
Yeah.
it was
happened?
on a recap.
Okay, yeah,
We could re-emphasize just in a.
do you know what I can also do,
You get your students in your class.
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm gonna email, actually, all the people who are signed up and registered for the conference and say, if you are affiliated with Duke and familiar with the space at the Ruby, please let me know if you're interested in being a volunteer. Right, I can say like if you're able to help with people who have visual impairments and or mobility impairments or just are unfamiliar with the space
Right.
and, you know, if you're comfortable helping people and, you know, let me know and I'll grab you, volunteer, whatever. Is it aprons that we're going with? Is that, okay,
Do we have any?
right, well, we can get them from the Ruby, I think. So, let's see, conference. Tasks for Marion. When emailing participants, ask for volunteers. Ask Disability and Access Initiative faculty to volunteer, cause I have at least one member, Rob Sikorsky, who wants to help with the student volunteer team, like he explicitly said to me.
Okay.
So that's one more person, and then it's just Maddie and Simon at like an hour a day, so we need to definitely get more people signing up, because that's really important, you know, like as an accessibility feature, it's just like having
Having people there.
information, you know, like people who have access to information to help you. Like, so it's kind of the most important thing, you know, I mean, the building itself is important, but then just like,
People, so, okay.
Yeah.
There's this organization, there's this service fraternity called APO.
Mhm.
And they often have volunteers go to usher like shows and
The
stuff.
problem is during reading period.
I'm
Yeah,
sure they
kinda
could spare
has
like
to-
an hour though.
Yeah, it's like it just kinda has to be on the DL, you know, like if we can't, like.
Oh wait, can we not publicize this very much?
Yeah, like student groups technically are not allowed to host meetings or anything like of that nature,
Well, this
during
isn't-
reading period, so it's of course not, I'm just like, we have to be careful in how we advertise this.
the way that I was told to deal with that issue was to put the language of volunteer in it, because that way it's not like we're requiring anyone or like, you know,
And well, the thing with APO is that they have like a quota for volunteer hours, so I don't know if it goes through that system, will it be kind of like officialized as a student group doing it, like sending
what's
volunteers?
this group called?
APO, what's the Greek letters? Alpha Phi Omega.
Okay.
Duke Alpha Phi Omega. I have a
Okay, so
lot of
I'll put
friends
it
at
this
APO,
way.
so I can just ask
Simon
them.
will discreetly ask APO if they have any interest in.
Slide a little note under their doors, like secret volunteering opportunity.
It'd be great. I mean, anyone who,
Um,
and again, like we had that little video clip that we put into the agenda last 2 weeks ago. Do you remember the little disability etiquette video? Were you there 2 weeks ago? You weren't there. Yeah,
Was I-
so
I
2
was
weeks
gone
ago.
2 weeks
If
ago.
you check the agenda from 2 weeks
Or no,
ago,
last
there's a
week.
little link to a video that that we decided, maybe it was more than 2 weeks ago, that we decided would be good, like to share with anyone who volunteers for the conference.
Oh, was it like
especially-
person first language? And,
No, I
or-
mean, it was
Was it-
more just like, don't grab a blind person's arm, let them take your elbow.
oh,
Like, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
don't
that's-
shout at people, like, don't talk down to people, don't talk to people's interpreters or assistants instead of them, all of that stuff. You know, it's the basics.
How long is this video?
It's it's less
Oh,
than
that's
5 minutes, it's super short.
I thought it was like gonna be a 15
No, it's a very short,
Um,
entertaining, kinda stupid, but useful. It's not stupid, it's a
I mean,
little
common
tacky,
sense.
you know, make some silly jokes.
oh, that's even better, actually.
But yeah, it's
Kinda like that.
kinda like dorky jokes kind of thing.
Oh, we are over time.
Oh, yeah, it is 6:30. Okay, so anything else on conference stuff? I guess not. I mean, as far as you guys are concerned, getting volunteers is all we need to worry about right now. I need to ask Trent if he's got the money for the ASL, which I did order. So that's all set. We had a major funding snag, just like for future warning for you guys. If you ever plan events in the Ruby, they will tell you it's free to use the space.
Is it?
What that means is that we're not gonna like charge you a like renter fee, but we will charge you if you actually wanna use, you know what I mean? If you actually wanna use the space,
What do you?
we'll charge you for every projector, every chair, everything. So we have this $5,000 that just got dumped in our lap. But Deborah Jensen came through and like had access to this like $30,000 pot of money that we can dip into. No, don't, it's not for
That's
you guys
so
to remember,
scary.
like during the conference at SDS, I like got this equipment order, here's your charges, and I was like, here's like $5,000 and we we're already over budget by a couple thousand, and I was
So-
just like,
Who's Deborah Jensen?
she's the other co-director of the HHL, the Health Humanities
Okay.
Lab, and she directs the Neurohumanities Research Group also, which I wasn't aware had all this money. So like she was just like, okay, we'll apply there and hopefully it'll work out. Like we'll know.
Oh, it's so scary.
But
just
yeah,
like-
that's the kind of thing that like you just have to know going in, if you're gonna do something at
Equipment
this scale, that the Ruby, it's not actually free to use. Like I thought it'd be like when we used the Nasher and it was actually free. But it's not like that. It's like
That's so annoying.
every microphone, every projector, everything.
Just
And
using
like
it.
labor, we're paying for housekeeping for the 2 days.
What?
Yeah, and then labor for like moving chairs around and all that stuff, which I said like, we'll have student volunteers, what if they help with moving chairs, like setup stuff,
I
like,
mean, we have a setup time.
Yeah.
you know, like, would that help reduce the cost? And they're like, we'll look at it, like, it doesn't have to be this much money. So it'll probably be a little less than they said, and we will probably have
Oh my god.
huge co-sponsorship from another source that'll put us back in the black. But it's like these kind of scary things do always happen like 3 weeks before an event,
Yeah.
where you're just like, oh great.
We're learning.
Um,
As we go.
yeah, so anyway, I have this huge like logistics master list in the drive that,
In our okay.
yeah, and
Where? Sorry, where is?
it's fine, you guys don't have to do anything
Is it in event planning? Or is-
no, it's, well, I don't know if DT moved the folder,
Oh, you
but-
did? Okay, good.
You did, okay, so
The
yeah, it's in a folder
disability
called
and the
Disability Conference Planning. And mostly this is a list from me, and I don't think you guys need to worry about anything except for getting student volunteers to show up
I think-
on the
I
2
think-
days.
If I can finesse something with ABO.
And also get
Okay.
people to actually register, like if you guys haven't registered for this conference yet, do it.
Oh, I haven't.
Because the Leonard Davis keynote is filling up. So get your tickets.
I thought I could just go in. Wait,
It's free, it's
wait.
free.
If I volunteer for the keynote speaker, can I just stand there?
I don't know because,
Wait, so
Because
like
it's-
where do attendees register?
oh, there is a link on the website. So it's called, in the Health Humanities Lab website, there's just its own page for
Oh,
the Disability and the Disciplines
You
Conference.
should send out that link in the recap email, right?
Because I just want people.
And put it in like massive font, you know, put it in like size 30 font,
Please
register.
register.
Because like,
Size 30.
we have a lot of people registered. We have a lot of people registered, but a lot of people that we know are going have not registered because.
Our intern actually does almost done.
Okay,
Yeah, we're
yes,
almost
yes,
done.
we're
Sorry.
almost done. Sorry about that. So yeah, so people who we know are gonna be there haven't registered because they kind of think they can just show up because it's free and stuff, so.
What's the number of people who have registered? Just
Well, for each event, it's like, for the whole thing, it's like a lot. but
A
for
lot.
the event, for like Leonard Davis, we have like 80 people, and it's only room for 100.
Oh my god.
So, yeah.
Whoa.
Sign
80
up.
people. Did you just release the register? Or-
No, it's been up for a while,
Oh, okay.
and I haven't done a great job pushing it. Like I've emailed everybody I know once, but I haven't been doing that thing of like emailing everybody I know every week.
5 times
You know,
a
the
day.
annoying like marketing campaigns.
Should we end the hangouts?
Is Jay going?
Alright,
Is Jay gone?
Jay, you still there? Guess not. It was great to see you. Here's not
Great to hear you.
hear you.
No, Jay's here.
I uploaded some research on TUFs.
Alright, I guess
Oh,
that's.
really? Awesome.
They don't have a center, but they do have a bunch of like autism center, like groups or informal groups that are trying to be formed.
Huh.
And they
Cool.
do have a student like resource office too.
Yes. Alright.
Wow, there's so much to do this week. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know.
Infinite.
Okay,
Alright.
bye Jay.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Oh, you're muted, Jay.
Oh, he is still there.
Yeah, he's still there.
Oh wait, I'm on mute. Sorry, I was on mute.
Blurbs.
There we go.
Alright,
All right.
Blurbs.
Bye.